There's no like rhyme or reason to it, you know?
Jimmy, what up? You don't like that song?
Intro music got us excited in the car.
That's right, dude.
Got Sydney hyped. Good morning. This is an interesting podcast episode, you guys.
Yeah.
We're starting off live with Jimmy this morning instead of like the random call in. He's not driving.
Yeah, they're getting me out of the way, dude. They said, dude, if you can't do a ring muscle up after 23.1, you got to start the.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of also what we did.
Who said that?
Yeah, dude.
We're just embarrassed by him.
Yeah.
Tough week for the boys here. Tough week for the guys.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Jimmy wants to jump right into
You
it.
want to get right into CrossFit. Let's start with a little icebreaker.
Yeah.
Dude, where are you guys going? You rented a Porsche.
Yeah, Jimmy, show us the car.
All right, dude. See?
That's the famous Sid.
I don't know. It was more to show, dude. Little sunroof.
Wow.
I mean, the color and the seats, they look like a fucking Porsche.
It looks like a luxury vehicle. Do you feel luxury?
Yeah, remember, we do feel like luxury. When she bought the car, she was very stoked that the only one they had this brown leather.
Yeah, it's interesting.
She looks fancy in a very unfancy car.
What, did you buy it new?
First of all, Toyotas are expensive, dude.
They are.
She bought it new in 2018.
And a brand new car.
Do you buy new cars, Jimmy?
I've done the car game wrong. Sydney's done it right. I've done the car game wrong.
What's that even mean? What's it mean you've done it wrong?
I did it wrong because my first car that I put money in myself, I leased out of college because I didn't want a fat car payment. All right, so I leased.
Yeah.
That is not like Jimmy. I couldn't imagine you leasing.
Yeah, like you're just giving your money to somebody, dude. It's like rent.
I know. Well, it gets even worse.
It was his only bill.
Yeah. So I leased my car, and then the 3-year lease was up, so I either had to return it or buy it out or get a new car. So I decided to keep my car. So, Jamie, the numbers guy that he is, decided to crunch the numbers. And I learned that I paid 3 years of car payments on the car, and then I had to but take another loan out or whatever for the 5 years. So now I'm paying 8 years of car payments on my 2019 Subaru Impreza. And what the car cost me $21,000 was the sticker price, and over the 8 years, I will have paid $28,000 for my $21,000 car.
Holy shit, dude!
Yeah, dude, terrible. So my recommendation is not to lease cars anymore, unless you're going to continually lease new cars. But yeah, that was not my smartest move. Looking back, hindsight's 2020. Don't know if I would do it again. But
you did this in 2020. That's when you got the Subi.
No, I got it in 2018, but it was a 2019. It was brand new.
Yeah.
So
right.
I'm on year 4 of making payments on it out of 8 years.
I'd love to see the interaction with you and the car salesman. Like how you probably tried to bargain him.
I definitely tried. It didn't work.
I think you should work at Procore first of all. You're a salesman. Go back, tell us the story from. This will be the icebreaker. I want to hear the interaction between you and like the gyms that you went to in CrossFit in Florida, when you would go to them and be like, "Look, man, I'm only gonna be here a month, and then I'm leaving. So why don't I just pay you half the membership?"
Letting you go for free anyway.
Well, yeah, I had some good experiences with that. The one.
Yeah, I know. That's why I think it's cool, dude. It's like that's why I think you'd be a really good salesman. You just convince people.
Yeah, I did it twice to some extent. I did it twice. The one gym in Fort Lauderdale, I was living like half an hour away, but I had not a half an hour, maybe like 25 minutes away. But I had a friend that went to that gym, and I was like in the process of moving to Miami, and I was like, "Hey, I'm only here for 2 weeks. Like, what can I pay you to let you work out for 2 weeks?" And their monthly bill for CrossFit was like $215, and I was like, "Bro, I'm not swinging $215 for 2 weeks worth of working out. Like, that's just obnoxious."
Yeah.
So after talking to the owner, because they gave you a week for free, if I recall right. Yeah, I remember I paid $75 to work out for the 2 weeks.
Yeah, he did some bargaining. All I remember is the conversation. Jimmy's like, "Yeah, I negotiated with her," is basically what he said to me. I was like,
imagine what he's like on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, yeah,
Dude, that was brutal.
Fucking,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was one time. Another time was when I was in Miami and I had like I was there for 6 weeks, and the first month was $99. They were like, hey, first month, it's $99, get you in the door, try it. And I did the first month, and I was like, hey, man, I'm moving in 2 weeks. Like, I'm going back to Jersey. Like, what can I pay you? And he was like, just prorate it. So I just paid a prorated price. That one I didn't get knocked down.
But then you would go to the downtown.
Yeah, but then
for free.
the other gym in Miami that I went to for like 6 months, they really liked me, and they're a super successful gym. Like, they really didn't need the income of me coming for a couple times, so they just gave me a week's worth. I had 5 free drop-ins.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I wish we could get to that point where it's just like you said, you don't actually need the 1 week person. So it's just like out of generosity and like for the success of the business, like having your face talk good about them in the area is like, that's beneficial versus like, no, we need the $50.
Yeah, 1,000%. I think that's, what differentiates a lot of the gyms, is like their willingness to work with you because they have a big enough membership,
Yeah, that's hard to get to,
they
though.
don't need that, and that is hard to get. How many guys?
Is that part of the reason why you want Sid to join, so you get that couples discount?
We don't even do.
Dude, if they would give us a couple's discount, I would consider it.
Yeah,
I mean,
Tell Jimmy to work a deal.
Yeah,
here.
first of all, the gym you go to definitely does because they're an affiliate U member.
Well, I could ask them about a couple's discount, but their only discount that they told me about, you can't pay by the month at this gym that I go to now. You have to pay
Contract
either 6 months or a year. Like, you're like buy-in for 6 months.
But you pay monthly.
Like you
I
get
think
billed.
if I broke it down,
We lost some chat. Are you paying?
I think it's like 180
a month. Okay. Do you pay up front or do you?
I pay up front. You get a discount if you pay a lump sum.
Yeah,
he's that guy.
Yeah, he's that guy. So this is an affiliate U gym. I know this because you've told us they use cap, they use all the same shit.
When I do my sales, but don't even include the pay in full discount. I mean, I just figured I'll ask.
Yeah, if somebody wants to. Interesting. Is there? Do you ever have you ever negotiated to like get a discount like at a bar or anything?
I was thinking farmers market.
Yeah, or have you ever done that anywhere else? Like,
he tried to pay cash and get away with murder. He's like, if I pay you cash.
Yeah. I did try that.
In all situations.
Yeah.
If I pay you cash, can I just give you?
So I tried it. What, 2 weeks ago?
I don't know which one.
It was. We had our roof redone. Not redone. We had issues with our roof. So it was 400.
Talking about the Gasparilla beer.
It was $450 to fix our roof. And the guy's like, yeah, cash or card. I was like, let me see how much cash I have. So I went inside and I was like, I always have cash.
Yeah,
so I went inside and I was like,
box under the bed, probably with a gun.
I was like, I got $375 cash. Will you take it? And he like walked over to his buddy and he was like, no. And I was like, all right, how about 420? I was at another number. He goes, no, man. So I did swing the bat on that one. Yeah.
That's hilarious. If you went, you probably should have tried 400. He probably would have said sure.
Hindsight there.
Yeah, you lowballed him, and then he knew you were fucking sus.
They came out for like 20 minutes, did a job really quick, and I was like, listen, boys, if you just want to pocket this cash and not tell your boss about it, essentially, like, I could have just denied the work. Yeah, they could have told their boss, hey, he didn't want the work done, and they could have done it in 20 minutes and kept the cash themselves.
Yeah, it's controversial. I mean, the way you think, dude, is, interesting. You'd be pretty good in a business partner. So if you're interested, got a couple people we'll connect you with. Abe.
Yeah. And then, Cindy wanted me to tell you the story real quick. We went to a Gasparilla Pirate Festival, and these ladies that were selling they were giving out free samples of beer, but you could buy the can for $5 if you tipped them $5. Yeah. So essentially, like, they're giving out their free samples, but if you want the can, you just got to pay them. So I went up and I pretended I had a $20 bill in my hand. I put the $20 in the tip jar, but when I put my hand in the tip jar, I just folded it up real quick and put it back in my shirt. So they just gave me the 4 beers.
You're fucked up, dude.
He does not tell me this stuff in the moment. He tells me like 2 days later, like, hey, guess what I did?
So you went to go put the money in and put it in your sleeve?
Pretty much, yeah. They had so much cash in there that like they didn't know where it was. Like people were just paying them instead of getting like 3-ounce free samples, they were getting the pounder of the Kona Big Wave beers. Like these girls were finessing, and I just finessed a little harder.
You could have worked with them.
Yeah.
There's where your kind of people.
Yeah. So
Damn, that's hilarious, dude.
Speaking of tips, Luke and I, when we were on that coaching development thing, we were at the hotel, and it's just like, I go to the level, I put the do not disturb sign up all the time. As soon as we get in the room, I leave it up so they don't clean the room. But then I was like, how do you tip? Like, do you even tip maids anymore?
I don't think so. That's like old school as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever been in a hotel where they come in.
Well, you've
And,
been to
like-
that fancy ass hotel in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you
And we did tip them.
sometimes when you check out, you like lose some cash.
Yeah, I think we
Not
left
like
like
that.
10
Cash, right? Yeah. But then I never know how much to leave.
Well, like the Home Alone scene when he's upstairs and he's asking for money
That doesn't happen
for
anymore.
bringing his bags out, but he gives them gum. Like, do people do that still?
I don't know.
James,
I think tipping culture is becoming a lot when like you go to I don't know, you go to like we went to Froyo. Remember we went to Froyo the other night?
Anybody with the Square app basically like is like, oh yeah, well, do you want to include the
Oh
tip
my
Yeah.
god!
prompt?
And you can set it up.
And
to
every
be
business is like,
ridiculous.
yeah, let's throw in the tip prompt.
Yeah.
And you can Sydney's had a point. You can set it up where like the lowest amount of tip is like 20% or
Yeah.
something crazy.
Yeah, and that's what most of these people do. Or then you got to be the guy that press custom, and then all of a sudden you're like in your head doing math, and you're like, all right,
Or
well,
sometimes I'll just do like every other. Like I'll if it's a bar situation, I'll tip one, and then the next one I won't tip. And then the next
Yeah.
one I will.
yeah, I'll do
Well,
that
like-
too.
To my point, it's like Froyo. You're like, I made this myself. The only
Yeah.
thing you did was ring me up.
Yeah,
That's
This
true.
was like last year or
Are we
something,
gonna
right? You don't
topic
go to
now?
Froyo anymore, do you, Jimmy?
he was there the other day.
No,
Yeah,
it was-
we went
this,
there
this
last
was
week.
like last weekend.
I would
Oh my
rather
God, there
them
goes the RMUs, dude.
ring muscle ups. He doesn't know what RMU are.
Sorry, dude.
Dude, it's all right. I don't know, man. That was such a bummer. I literally,
We'll
I
get
did
into it,
two.
dude.
We're going back to 23.1 here.
Yeah.
I did.
Ready.
Anybody in
I
the
warmed
chat
him
watching, jump in. Let's talk about the open.
Yeah, I warmed up well. I hit 2 ring muscle ups, jumped up, hit one, dropped right into the second one, hit a second one. Felt good. Was like, all right, let's do it. And got through the workout in like 12 minutes, and then sat at the ring muscle ups and couldn't do them. I
right,
got
well, it's-
videos of me trying.
Workout got posted. It was a repeat workout. All of
Repeat
us have.
workout.
Matt has done it. I've done it. Jimmy has never done it. Right?
Yeah, that was my first time.
Yeah, you've done similar ones.
Did you do it programmed or just on your own for fun?
I've done it. I think way at the ICA way in the day.
Okay, so wait.
Nobo's only done a different one similar where it was like heavy deadlifts, toes to bar wall balls, and like handstand push-ups or whatever.
Yeah.
There was another one similar, which would be interesting if they did a bunch like that. This would be cool.
Is this our
Yeah.
Sam's?
But going through it, yeah. I done it. It was hard. I wasn't expecting.
Did you have a number to beat? Yeah, right.
No, I just wanted to get some muscle ups.
Because you didn't get them last time.
Yeah, I don't even think
I see it. Did.
I don't even think I could-
Long
yeah.
time ago.
Yeah.
CrossFit journey. And Jimmy, you never did it.
I've never done that workout before. No, that was my first time.
So then it must have been Comp Train that had us do it that last year.
Yeah, they had to
Must not have
because
been on cap at that point.
February I was still using cat. I was using cat. No, I wasn't actually.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
don't know who it was.
it can tell you if you were using cat. It was definitely CompTrain because you didn't switch to cap until the fall. That doesn't matter. Whatever. So, Jimmy, you're doing the open workout. What were your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions? How'd you do? Let's start there.
Let's hold on. Let's back up way at the very beginning before you even start the workout.
Yeah.
When you start tripping, because we learned about this in Birdie.
When did I start tripping?
Yeah, like getting nervous.
Well, I
laughing
watched
over
the
there.
open announcement and I saw 20 ring muscle ups. All those movements prior to the ring muscle ups, I'm solid at. Like I can, breeze through them pretty efficiently. So I just 20 ring muscle ups is daunting when the most you've done in a row is like 4 or 5.
So announcement comes out, you see the 20 muscle ups, and your first thought is I'm fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I only learned how to do ring muscle ups like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. I sent you guys a video. I was like, I got my first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the movements up to that, I was like, that's easy. Like that workout alone without the ring muscle ups is like not a terrible workout. I liked that it was slow and methodical, opposed to like last year where it was like wall walks, snatches, and box jumps, where it's just like you're just all out gassing it for
those are the ones I hate.
12 minutes.
Luke likes them and George likes them.
Yeah.
I like the sprinters because I feel like, I mean, you're good at them, Jamie. I don't know why you don't like them. You have that for 7 minutes, you can black the fuck out. After 7 minutes, one of us are gonna pass you.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. Although I did beat you both in the workout last 22.
You did.
So I had to remind you guys of that.
Yeah, I'm down.
We're gonna make a trophy for you.
But like decision-making processes here. So you go through this workout and you're running. I don't want to talk in depth like strat about the workout, but I'd love to hear you. But you had diarrhea a couple times before the workout, right?
Dude, I shit 4 times prior to the workout.
You're like Vince. You guys just freak out.
So you were really nervous.
Well, my issue is I always work out in the morning. I very seldomly go to the nighttime class, but Sydney wanted to come watch. So I waited all day to go to Friday Night Lights. Yeah. So like I was off work that day. So I was just sitting around the house, like thinking about it, seeing people's scores and being like, all right, like the one guy I go to the gym with, I was like, he got like 4 or 5 muscle ups. So I was like, how much time did you have for the muscle ups? He's like, I think his tie break time was like 11:50 or 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, like if he got 4 or 5 in 2 minutes, like I should be able to do relatively the same. We compete pretty well with each other. And I had it right there at tie break time, but I just swung up and swung down.
Yeah.
But so that's like almost 6 hours of you just being stressed.
Yeah, and then I had a Celsius at like 4 o'clock, and then I went to Friday Night Lights.
He was at the gym for like 2 hours before he worked out too.
How many Celsius did you drink?
I only had one, but I was at the gym drinking the Celsius at like 4, and I didn't go till 6:10. So I just watched people do it for 2 hours.
All right. Well, so we learned in this coaching development. I mean, this isn't going to give you like the greatest score of all time, but it could enhance your performance a little bit. You seem like the type. You seem more like myself, where you're easily aroused, meaning like
not
you're stressed, not sexually, dude. Like you're
look at me and goes, "That's him."
Fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
Like real early. So you were basically stressing, releasing endorphins for like
the day
4 hours. And then finally you go to work out, which means you've probably already passed your like peak. Yeah.
It's like a bell curve and it goes up and then comes back down. And you were at your peak before you even did the workout because you allowed yourself to become.
That's true, dude. I was juiced at like 4:30 watching people do it. I was like, all right, like I'm stoked. Let's get this done. But I didn't do it till 6:10.
Yeah. So next time this week, you got to change it up.
I would skip the caffeine until right before, like 20 minutes before. I would definitely not watch people do it for 2 hours because I think that just gets you more aroused and fucking stressed.
Yeah, because I could already imagine James. You're probably looking at people and like thinking like, all right, I beat you in 90% of workouts. Like we're gonna be good. And then
I was like,
he loves the stat.
Yeah, I was like, what are these guys like? Some of the guys that are relatively the same level.
He was looking at his little app and who got fist bumps already.
I was looking at their rowing pace, and I was like, all right, like what pace do I want to hold? What pace did this person hold? Like,
I don't think the workout had anything to do with rowing at all. So.
No, it didn't. But when
trap,
you're sitting around for 2 hours, I was like, all right, what they row, and then how they break up their toes to bar,
We had one dude row sub 3.
It was 2:36.
He like crushed.
Brian, have you talked to my brother, Luke?
Yeah, I mean,
I told him, he goes, what'd you get? We talked about it. He's like, what'd you row? And I was like, 3:03. I was like, my goal was 3 minutes, so I was right on pace. He goes, damn, I wrote it in like 3:20 something. Or sorry, 2:20 something.
Yeah, that's typical. I literally talked to him prior, and I was like, don't fucking be an idiot.
Yeah, he was. So
I
he
tried to
told
take
me, he
this
goes,
one
Luke told me
zero
not to
strat.
come out fast, and I came out fast.
Yeah, he called me when I was at work, and I was like, knowing you, I was like, you break the toes bar up into 5s. He's like, my plan was 10s. I was like, bro, I've seen you do 10. You fucking fall to the ground after 10.
Yeah.
So
I was like Luke, yeah, no strat, like some rough breakup plans, but
Yeah.
nothing out. But like
Yeah,
I think
give
the
me your
row, I
rough.
wasn't even looking at the clock.
Luke would be proud, dude. Luke, I did the wall balls 20 and 20.
Oh shit, nice.
Did you guys all feel like the wall balls were easy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so did I.
I was most worried for the toaster bar, but looking back, the cleans were the hardest part. The cleans were sneaky.
Yeah. I was just at that point just a little bit gassed, and then at that was the time I got worried that I just wasn't gonna have enough time to get muscle ups. So I was like, then I tried to catch my breath, and I didn't move fast enough. But the whole workout, I just literally abandoned my strategy. I was just like, cool, I'm just gonna pace myself on the road because I feel dizzy because I didn't warm up to like get my heart rate up. And then I just did the toes to bar, random numbers until whenever I felt like I couldn't go anymore, and then I just kind of bounced around. I just knew I had to beat your tie break time and then get some muscle ups.
If I was to do it again, which I'm not going to do it again, one thing you guys did that I didn't do because we only have one set at the gym is not use bumper plates. Like
you would use them?
No, like the plates that I had, dude, you drop that barbell from like the front rack and it bounces everywhere, and you're chasing it.
We don't have any other type of plates, which is why. So it wasn't like strategic on our end to like use the comp plates, but that's all we have.
Well, wait, do you guys have, you don't have the high virgin rubber plate. Do you have the old school crumbly plates?
I don't even know what we have, but they
bounce around like a shit ton, I'm guessing.
What's the rubber feel like? Smooth?
No, it's rough.
Yeah. Then you have the older, that's like the older bumper plates that was like the recycled rubber. Those ones bounce a fucking shit ton.
Yeah, so like I would drop it, and you can even see it in the video, like you have to wait either for it to settle or you've got to put your hands on it. But if we have one set, and the guy used it in my heat, which I wanted to use them, but you just drop them and they just land on, they bounce like once and land.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think that would have saved me.
Interesting.
I think I could have gone faster if I had that.
Well, we got 22.2 or 23.2 coming up Thursday. I'm doing it Thursday night.
I wanted to try that too. Like that same stress thing that we were just talking about. I want to just like when it's announced, just roll in, not have a plan, not think about it, and just try to see if I can peak my stress at the right time. Cause like I was super anxious for this one too. Not as bad as you, Jimmy. I didn't watch people work out for
I can't do that again because we're traveling Friday night. So I need to do it either Friday during the day or be like in the 4 o'clock heat of Friday Night Lights, like the first heat.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do it Thursday, just because we have the marathon on Sunday. So I was like, if it's deadlifts, I need a couple days to flush the old hammies out.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be brutal.
Yeah.
Ultimate weekend.
Yeah, ultimate weekend,
Jesus
dude.
Christ.
Luke's
Where
being a
you
warrior.
guys going?
And it has to be the middle week too.
Yeah. We are going to Estero, which is like 2 hours south, like Naples, Bonita Springs.
For a vacay?
Yeah, I mean, her mom's flying in. My grandparents are there. It's like where all the snowbirds go. So we're going to go see her family, my family, like relax for the weekend. So.
Gotcha. Nice. It's fun. And then you're going on the boat now, and that's your day, right?
Yeah, going on the boat now. I don't know what our day is going to consist of, but heading out on the boat for once. I'm not driving it. I'm not working. I'm going to have a cocktail on the boat. It's going to be nice. And, yeah, I don't know. I work Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday.
When's your vacation?
Thursday.
What did you say?
Next this upcoming weekend. So he's doing the open Friday morning or Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to wait around. I'll get it done. So
nice.
Predictions? What do you got predicted, dude?
I don't know. I mean, I think the kettlebell's going to be somewhere. I don't know when, but I don't think we're going to see any more high skill. I don't think we'll see any more high skill gymnastics. I don't think there's going to be. I think we're not doing handstand push-ups.
I think we're doing overhead walking lunges with a kettlebell, and I think we're going to do double unders with handstand push-ups.
Okay. We'll see.
Or a burpee over something.
Yeah, I would like to see double unders, box jumps, and something else.
Yeah, that's too basic and like too classic. I think it's going to be twisted, but I could be wrong. He could do a year of just fucking repeats too. It'd be interesting.
I didn't think he would do any repeats. I thought he would want to put his own spin on it. Yeah.
Would you think kettlebell swings, or are those too hard to judge?
I think they're too hard to judge. I think it's going to be like
Yeah, they were,
overhead
of course.
walking lunges with kettlebells, or like a kettlebell snatch, but same deal. It's not too hard to judge. It's literally you got to go from the hang to overhead, get it done. Kettlebell snatches.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about these elite people that are getting like 300 plus reps on that workout? Like that shit's insane.
Yeah, they're nutty.
It seems doable.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
they could do it unbroken.
if I could do that too, if I had really efficient ring muscle ups.
Yeah. Also, they're doing the.
Like, I think the ring muscle ups took me to get 13. Took me like 4 minutes.
What was your split time?
What was your
Well,
split
or
time,
3
Matt?
minutes, 11:07.
Matt, what was your split time?
11:07.
Damn. What was the highest? What was the best score of your gym?
Matt with
Okay, ours was-
193, and then me 186. What'd Sam get?
He's redoing it Monday.
What-
Cleefish is doing it Monday.
What'd they originally get, Sam?
Sam, I don't know. He got a couple muscle ups.
I think if you went slower and had my split time, you would have finished. If you gave yourself 40 more seconds to then go after the ring muscle ups, but we'll see. We'll see on Friday or Thursday. I mean,
But did you
Yeah.
watch any of the top level people do it? Like, what were they doing for ring muscle ups? 5s, 6s, 10s?
For the
Unbroken.
for the announcement?
No, for the like anyone that you watched,
Oh,
not on the announcement.
No, I didn't see. I watched our top person had 217, so I watched them do it. So
What they do for the ring muscle ups?
I think sets of 5.
And just held on.
Yeah, did 5, like 4 sets of 5.
they had 217 was their top score.
Yeah, it was our owner. He's very
Gotcha.
competitive though.
Yeah, cool. It's
So
crazy.
he goes to Wadapalooza, competes and stuff. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like if
But I
you think
would've
about
been-
like the ring muscle ups being like the wall balls and like the toes bar and the cleans for you, like yeah, you're definitely gonna get into the second round. Like
Yeah.
that movement compared to the rest on that workout for me it was a steep drop.
yeah. Well, I just got to dial it in I want to do the Tampa Bay games, and I need to just work on muscle ups under fatigue, bar and ring muscle ups.
So we're
Everything
thinking
else is-
kettlebell next workout. What else are we thinking? Is the box gonna make an appearance?
Yeah, where you Jimmy said he wasn't paying attention, Jimmy. I'm
No,
sorry.
I think the box should. I think the box will.
Yeah, I know. Matt said, does he think
Jump overs?
I prefer box jump overs and box jumps.
Yeah, I hope it's not step ups. Because I remember, what was that, 2018, 2019?
Yeah, where it was the handstand walks or the overhead walking lunges or
Yeah.
something like that, and then the step ups with the weight.
And like for Luke and I, that was super uncomfortable.
Yeah, it hurt. It was like such a high box. I mean, I've done that workout 3 times now, and every time it just lights my hip flexors up like to pain.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We've done it at the No-Boat, Jimmy. I don't know if you were there.
I don't know. All right, gang. Well, we're rolling up to the boat here.
All right,
dude.
Have fun.
So I'm going to talk to y'all later,
Deuces, brother. Sid, keep
Best of
everybody in
luck.
check there.
and we'll reconvene on Thursday.
All right. Sounds good. See you.
All right, peace.
All right.
James. Good old Jimmy.
All right. I guess we're going full send CrossFit podcast today.
Yeah, we can do that. What do you got predicted?
I told you overhead walking lunges with kettlebell.
I would agree with that.
I don't think he's going to do anything crazier than that. I'd like to say kettlebell snatches, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's probably going to avoid the kettlebell completely, but I would, if anything, it's going to be some sort of like weird thing, like overhead walking lunges or like a building ladder, a front rack lunges, and then overhead with the kettlebell or something like that, or like farmer carry, front rack, overhead, something crazy like that.
Do you agree with Jimmy on the? Do you agree with Jimmy on the box?
Nah, I don't think the box would be in this one.
Double unders?
I don't know. I honestly can't tell. I can't tell which route they're gonna go. Gaz, yeah, CrossFit, you're out, dude. We know you hate CrossFit. We'll change it up. We're gonna go into a deeper conversation about arousal and talk about arousal. I'd like you to dig into that a little bit more.
You want me to start?
Yeah, take it.
All right. So
It's not
CrossFit
sexual,
side,
guys.
Not sexual, guys. Don't get your head out of the
Well, I guess
clouds.
you could take this into. Yeah, I know it's hot in here, and he's making all of us sweat.
It could be gaming. It could be anything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It could. That's what I was gonna say. It could be anything. Going to work, a meeting, anything. Just how you
Yeah.
approach certain things.
Yeah. So there's like, from what I understand, there's a bunch of different types of people. I think generally most of my friends are all around the same type.
I would agree.
Except for maybe Aaron. But it depends on your kind of sensitivity of how you get aroused or into that flight or fight mode. And I think the way it works is, let's say your meeting's coming up. We'll use work.
Yeah, let's see that. I think
you got
most
this
people can
big
relate.
estimation bid due, and you find out about it 2 weeks ahead of time. As time gets closer, you start to panic, start to freak out about it. You start to iterate in your head, like, oh, what am I going to do? You start to hyper focus on it. Your body instantly switches into this fight or flight mode, and you start releasing endorphins and whatever all those other chemicals are that your brain releases to kind of
neuroendocrines, hormones,
prep you into that. Whereas like there might be a person that has a low arousal, so like that doesn't even phase them, and like they'll come into the meeting like still half asleep, and then they'll like start to stress like 5 minutes in after they like tripped up on some words or whatever, and then they'll be like, fuck, I'm in this meeting, like I gotta hit it. And then their stress and hormones might not peak until way later, like when the meeting's over.
Okay, so bring it back so people can understand. Yeah, that's it. So basic understanding of it. So we have a person. So we'll say you. We're gonna call yourself, and then we'll say myself. Okay, so we have these two different peoples. We have this bell curve, right?
Yeah.
So we have this bell curve, and the bell curve is the peak, the mountain. Or let's talk about a mountain, right? You have a mountain. The peak is where you're fully aroused. Okay, if we're gonna break it down and go like sexual, would that be like the climax, right? Essentially, like at that spot, that is the best. That is your best performance, right? Or is it the opposite? You get to the peak and now it's downhill from here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sex
so
is interesting though, because once you hit the peak,
you just drop.
Well, for men, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So,
but like,
to make
your
this
point,
understanding,
it out and comes down.
Okay. So yeah, instead of this fucking rigid peak where it's just like triangle, you go up one, drop back down.
It's a hill.
That's it. Okay, so it's a hill. It's a running hill. It's like the Pennsylvania style hill.
At the peak, it's like your body is primed, released all the right chemicals, and like that's where you're going to hit the optimal performance.
Okay, and then our question is, how long do we stay at said peak? Do we know? I guess it depends on per person.
Hill starts to just roll down.
Okay, so if we're gonna play this in like a meeting setting again. So you hear, okay, Matt, you have a meeting. You're going to be the presenter of said topic. I want you to explain the sickness, wellness, fitness continuum on the model here for the performance. Yeah. So you're going to go, you're going to present this to the people. So you boom, right away, you start to climb. For you personally, do you go like really high, like do you move quickly up this graph?
No, I mean, I can relate now because we just did that open. It's slow. Like I feel like I got my shit under control. I'm fine. I feel like, and then like as the time gets closer, I can start to feel myself climbing up. Heart rate, I start to panic and start doing little things that like probably just exemplify it.
Okay, so it's interesting. So if I have something like the stuff that we used to do at work, the calls on Friday or whatever, be panicking like before as I'm dialing, I feel like I'm at the peak and I'm ready to crash.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'd connect and then it would go back. And it would like calm down. So I don't know in that sense of the arousal state where that actually falls. It's like, cool, I'm climbing, ding, ringing. They answer and all of a sudden I calm down. And I go back to an ebb and flow state where I'm like calm, collected.
Well, that's what I think it's got, what you got to be in tune of. Like when they first say like, hello, is it like you snap into focus and you're like, no uhs or ums and you're just like clean, concise, like flowing? Or is it like, they say hello, it's like a 5-minute rocky start. You don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're saying, and then eventually like they say some cue word and you're like locked in. Is it like that?
Probably depends. It really depends how they answer the phone. If they answer like a dick, I'm like full send panic mode.
Why is that though?
Because it's like, I don't know, for some reason I have this thing in my head. It's like, oh fuck, I pissed this guy off. Now I'm going to get ripped. I don't feel like getting yelled at. My job is to get these people to, like, I'm literally just doing research, and like at the end of the day with these people, I'm not selling shit. They're ripping me. How do you get my fucking number?
Do you feel like that's a personality type though? Because I feel like that matches your personality type.
Yeah,
You
100%.
feel needed.
Not needed. I don't like to get fucking ripped though. Especially like there's certain times though, if I notice if I rip calls early in the morning, I don't give a shit. It's like I'm still fucking tired. I'm asleep. I don't care what you say to me. You want to hang up on me? Go fuck yourself. Have a great day. I wish I could say that to these people.
But that's the interesting part, right? Like I would probably be similar to you, but I know there's people out there that just that doesn't even phase them.
Yeah.
Like they hit the call, they get ripped, someone tells them to go fuck themselves, and they're just like, yeah, all right, see, man.
Yeah. Well, like the big like joke that they have at work is like literally they tell you take me off the calling list and be like, hey man, they paid me this money, like a really good pay to not talk, to not do that. So I'll call you next week. You can hang up on me. You don't have to answer, but I get paid to bother you.
Yeah. And
it's like, if I don't do that, I'm not doing my job. And that's what we fucking joke with people. That's what they always tell me to say. Like when I bring that up to the managers or like mentors, like they're always immediately just like, hey, bring this to them. Be like, cool, yeah, I'll call you back. If not me, somebody else is going to. And like, yeah, I'll put a note in our system saying, don't bother with this person only because you're a dick, not because anything else. Like you're not going to get us to where we want to go.
Is that legal?
Yeah. There's apparently this bullshit thing where people can set up on their phones. I don't even know how legit it is, but there's been calls where I've made and it's an automated recording saying like, hey, this number is protected by so-and-so, solicitation free number. If this is solicitation, please hang up. And if not, you can proceed. And like I've multiple times I heard hang up. And then there's been times where I was just like, fuck that. I don't know.
Does the system you use change your phone number?
Yeah, it dials into like we have a system where you can use their area code. So if I call you, it'd be a 484 number.
Okay, so if I blocked your number on my iPhone and let's say you hit me up again,
I don't know. I think it wouldn't go through. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because I was just listening to somebody else that somebody was like, my buddy next to me was getting ripped. He's like, you keep fucking calling me on all these different numbers and I block you and you just keep calling me. He's like, it's not me. It's like, there's other people here. They were having like this huge argument. There's like hilarious shit sometimes. Other stuff is like some of these people are just rough. And other times they're just like, you're stupid. Like you are dumb. Like you don't know much about anything.
Well, so back to arousal though, like, so like there's you, you panic, you get like, you don't feel like,
oh, I think to like your
have
point,
that conversation, right? There's also the person that can just brush it off, like it literally has no effect on them.
Yeah, or it hypes them up.
That was just my next one. There's that other person where like
they feed off of that.
Blood starts to flow.
Yeah, and they're like excited. They're like they're looking for the objections. They want people to fucking try and shoot them down, and they're like a lot of the guys in this, and I think basically the job breeds you to be that type of person. To
well,
like,
I'm listening to you talking, I'm just like, I'm surprised they want you to call these people, even though they know they're pissed off and don't want to hear from you. Like, is there somehow that,
there's
that
a quote unquote like studies saying that 9 to 12 touch points. So if I call this guy 9 times, at some point he's eventually just going to be like, fine, like cool. Or at some point, like right, the whole idea is like keep putting it out there. So when they do have meetings, I'm assuming, I've never been told this, but I'm assuming it's like, okay, we need to fix our systems. I've heard about Procore because the stupid fuck keeps calling me. And it's like, okay, cool. Let's put like, yeah, we've all heard about it. Let's hit them up. Okay. Yeah. And also I'm sure they get calls all day though. That's the sad part. It's like, they're probably getting calls from Procore, Autodesk, CMIC, all these different companies all day long. Yeah. I don't understand why people get so mad. I never answered a call from somebody and like freaked the fuck out. Like, you know, when I own the gym, you know how many times, and I still to this day, every morning get a call from, I don't know what company it is, Tribe or something like that. Like push press, but a startup. I get a call every morning, every single morning from.
So if let's say you call somebody and they're like, yeah, dude, I had a midlife crisis. I'm actually working at Dairy Queen. Like, is there a procedure you have for that contact?
No, like what do you mean?
Like, do you call them again?
Yeah, and we just put like does not work at company anymore, and like 90% of the time, and like I was just telling my manager this, it's hard because we still have to get dials in. So like I'm assuming some people still just fucking dial because like I'll look and it says do not call, but it's already has 20 calls after that. It's been
the person could lie too, but I was just saying. I'm not
yeah. Also, I definitely believe that people do lie because like they'll say shit, and I'll be like, your LinkedIn says you work there. They'll be like, all right, fuck you.
But like for the Tribe thing, I feel like, you're like, I don't own a gym anymore.
Yeah, I've told them that they don't give a shit. Yeah. I literally told the guy, I was like, hey man, I would have sat down just because I would have to see it. Why not? But I don't own it anymore. And then he was like, now he's like, well, what are you doing? You ever at a gym anymore? I was like, yeah, I'm at a gym. And then he talked, and then he's like, yeah. So he knew where he was going, and I laughed because I at the time was still training for pro course, so I knew exactly what he was doing, and it was like I just shot myself in the foot. He knows I'm at a gym now. He doesn't know where, so I'm sure in their system they put like what gym you're at type of deal. Same as us, Salesforce. You just log it, change company, so on. They also use LinkedIn. So if you put shit in your LinkedIn profile, then they're going to target you because they'll just put up like, where do you work? If you tag the big companies, like it's harder for these smaller companies, but once you're at major levels, like if they were targeting like Amazon and I tagged Amazon on my LinkedIn profile, it pops up when they do reports.
Yeah.
So
you're pretty stressed when you answer the phone.
Yeah, but then I get hyped. It's like the same thing as the workout. I was like 3, 2, 1, go. First 10 calories, I was like panic mode because my body temperature was like fucking rising and I was getting dizzy because I didn't do anything.
Pulling like 1300.
Yeah. I stayed at 1300 most of the time.
Really?
Yeah. I was like good. I was like right around 3 minutes. I was pulling at 14 for the first 15, 20 calories. And then I slowed down a little bit on purpose. And then I kind of like settled in physically. I was like, all right, I don't feel as bad. I don't feel dizzy. I don't feel shitty. And that was solely because I didn't like warm my engine up. It was like that initial like toxins running through your body, and my body was like stress mode. Because all I did to warm up was like a lot of stretches and shit for my hips.
Yeah.
And then I didn't do any. I should have went for like a 800-meter run or something to jack my heart rate up and get blood flowing. I definitely would have done better. Because like a full send panic mode on the row happens every time I do workouts. Like yesterday, same thing when I did open gym. What did I do? I just did some good mornings and some, a couple squats, make sure my knee was good.
What can you do for calls though?
Warm up, like we've talked about doing, like we'll just call each other and like somebody plays prospect, like, hey, good morning, say, hey, good morning, man, and just like practice getting flowing. Because there's some calls I'll like stutter right away. I'll call somebody.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned that. I was like, that would be me.
Like the weird, I was ripping calls the other day. Like when I was thinking Friday, when I wasn't feeling good, I was ripping calls at 6:45 a.m. just to get it done.
But then too much practice also makes you shit, I feel like.
Yeah, because then you get too cocky, I think. So like your arousal state becomes like, I feel like arousal is good, like, right? Because then you are alert. If you stay at this like bottom of the level, you're not bringing yourself to this point of readiness ever. You need to find somewhere in that middle ground to find readiness, I would assume. Because if you're too much just sitting at the bottom, like I feel like Eric sits on the bottom. Chat, can you cut that out? I'm not allowed to say names anymore in this chat. Our buddy, I think, sits on the bottom.
But so that's actually a good point though, dude. It's an interesting part about your calls, right? Like compared to the workout, you're only doing one workout.
Yeah.
So you got to time your peak somewhere in the middle of that. But for the calls, I would assume you want to put your big hitters somewhere in the middle of your day.
Yeah.
Right. So
well,
like you pick some
you
bullshit calls that like are either going to be a dick or aren't going to answer for your morning calls.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to peak in the morning, like your first couple sets.
It's also that you got to be, we got to give a shit about what they are. Like if I'm catching them when they're on the job site, good luck.
Makes it hard.
Yeah. It's like, you got to like, that's why East Coast accounts, they always tell us like based off of studies they've done, it's like, you got to hit them in the morning before they leave or on
the
their way to
arousal
work.
curve is only one hill.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't go like this.
Yeah. So if we're going to separate, like that's a whole different story. If we're going to separate from like the actual business side versus like, hey, what's better? Where's it? I don't think they've done a study. It should be like, cool. Okay. We know what works for the people on the other line of the phone, but what works for the salesman?
Yeah. That's
like the in-house stuff. Like, do you feel okay? Because if that's the case, it's like we should put different like I personally don't think somebody should just have all East Coast accounts.
Yeah. Well, you said right now, like, so 6 in the morning, like when you first start, you don't feel good.
Yeah.
Like your best.
I think they should give us like a split, and that's my opinion. It should be like for that exact reason. It should be like there's the arousal state. It's like, cool, Luke doesn't feel great this morning. He's not going to call into his East Coast accounts.
When do you feel good? I'm not saying it gives you
I prefer to call at like 8 or 9 a.m.
You feel like you're in a groove.
I feel like I'm in a groove. Not that I'm not awake in the morning. I'm fine in the morning. It's more of like, I feel like I've done a couple things. I've done some research. I've done some different diving, and they also just suggest like, that's why I think it's pointless. Or the team I'm on, we need to be more strategic. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to bring to the table to be like, hey, I think we should do a study on like, or not even a study. It's like every single person has a different arousal state, and I think it's different per day. Like you might wake up feeling fucking ready to go. Like you might be driving, nearly get in a car accident, or like save a life on the way, or get an awesome phone call or tailor phone call. It's going to make your day alter. So it's like, cool. You should have like the flexibility to call into some West Coast accounts or like the flexibility to call into East Coast accounts, or like give me fucking some Australian accounts,
'Cause
whatever.
you got a time to.
Yeah, like you got a time when you're calling them. Like, right, if it's noon, it's 3 p.m. on a Friday on the East Coast. If I don't get all my shit in before the morning, it's going to be really hard to connect with anybody after that. Or on a Friday, who the fuck wants to talk?
When you call someone, you think it's better to call them when they're low stressed or high stressed?
I feel like I've had the best success in the afternoon, in like the mid morning, like East
when
Coast
they're, like-
accounts, like right before their lunch or right after their lunch.
So they're like jazz. already.
Yeah. Like they could already have had fucking bids go in.
Yeah.
But I've had my best success. Like I mean, I booked a demo first call of the day on Friday at 6:45 in the morning. It was an account in Illinois.
But the guy driving home after a fucking shit day at work, he ain't buying anything.
No, unless he had a shit day at work because his life is so fucking hard. So like if he said to me like, buddy, fuck you. It's been a rough fucking day, you piece of shit, which people have said. And it's like, well, why has it been a rough day? I tried to submit this RFI and these submittals, and then this motherfucker said he put it in and he never texted me. And it's like, well, there we go, dude. Then I have some leverage.
Yeah.
But gee, dude.
Yes, dude. How you been, man? Where were you this morning?
Yeah. Is there anybody else that wants to get interviewed? I have some questions for some other people on arousal states. I'd be curious about that.
We'll drop the link. I just realized we didn't do an Instagram post today.
Yeah.
Luke and I, we struggled, dude.
Hey, who else should I fucking hit up?
Vince hasn't been on the show in a little bit, you know.
I got you, dude.
G, how you been, dude? Trill, you could also pop in.
Just so I can dishing out the links. Hold on. Where's him? He ditched us, little bitch. Can you text him the link for us?
Well, he realized Trill wasn't going to be on the show and he bailed.
Yeah, it's some weird shit there.
They just have a good bond.
You guys are over him. I tried to message him, tried to do that. Kendall never wants to be on the show. You never want to be on the show. Trill, you live in this house. Gaz, I mean, he wakes up late. Where's the Migs been, dude? I'm the fave. Yeah. I mean, Sam and you guys are boys. You guys talk all the time.
In the carnivore world, big things coming today. Doing a little cook-off.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait. I sent the link out to a bunch of people. Somebody will click it. You know who'd be interesting to have on here? Nick Laquetto. He's changed his whole fucking life
That
up.
would
I'd
be.
love to interview him.
Just send him the link, dude.
I sent
Not for
everybody the
today,
link.
but I mean, I have to be a good guest.
Nobody fucking answers. I text everybody. Like, you guys can send the chat too. Like, guys, if there's anybody that you know, shoot them the link. Just send them a text. Fucking sabotage them. Just send them the link. They won't know what it is. They'll put their name in, and then all of a sudden they'll be on a live show. It's probably against like HIPAA laws in the podcast world, but me and Matt were going to cook last night or yesterday. Me and Kendi went and got, we drove all over. We had a bunch of stuff, but we stopped at the Fork. Not a fan. It's an interesting place, but they have the organs. And I figured since we're going to cook them, the livers we didn't like, we still have some, right?
It's funny. I was down there with Trill and I saw that place and I was like, I should get some organs. And I was like, no, Luke hates their organs.
Well,
So we didn't
I figured
go.
the ones that we were cooking are okay. And then they didn't have heart last time. So we drove by and I was like, interesting. Because I wanted a steak. But then I remember last time they're frozen.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, it's not worth it. We do read chat. G, you just talked in the chat like it was private. Like you were messaging us like, hey, is this a private chat? This is on our YouTube.
He's just waking up, dude.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. I mean, should we just drag out the podcast? Anything else on here?
Yeah, I mean, so tell me about what organs you got.
Okay, yeah, that's what we were talking about. Got spleen. Matt's gonna cook that up. Last time he fried it, I think a little too greasy. We got some tripe, so we're gonna make some grilled tripe or some tripe stew. Interesting. It was like spaghetti. I think it needs to be cut up differently or cubed, and then we're just gonna cook it. Last time he did it with beef, and the beef made me puke. So that was gross.
Eating it, though, right? The
Eating it.
flavoring was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was like beef.
We got to get some bone broth. for
Bone
that.
broth, yeah. We're gonna try to get a whole cow. What else do we get? Spleen, you're gonna fry, and then heart. We're gonna do that. Kendall wants to try some. So I was thinking we just slice it. Same deal. If we make it thick enough like steaks, we'll just grill it. But I've done it with just salt. Have you had it?
Yeah, heart.
Yeah, it's good.
But the way it's
You've only cooked it.
I've only cooked it, and also my heart was different. I don't know if yours is like literally they were like, here's the heart because it's like in a round package.
That's how I've always gotten it.
Mine came all like cleaned and flat, like there was no arteries or anything.
Interesting.
So I don't know if they cut in like unrolled. Like I don't know how the heart works.
Well, why you acting like I just come into the chat? LOL. What do you mean?
You weren't here for 40 minutes. Yeah,
He's no, because
like
go
50.
back. Everybody go back through the fucking chat. He just says the common ground shit. All right, nobody answered my text. Let me shoot couple more people.
Here, this is what he said. We got a history of
Can I
everything.
make a private chat in here? Like he doesn't want to talk to you guys. He just wants to talk to us. Who else do we want on here? Chat, do you got any recommendations? You know my contacts. Can get Fabian in here.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk to him about?
Anything. It'd be better if I could rip dials on the computer. I got to figure that out.
Just
Make a
fucking
Trello task
post
like
our link in Spawn's channel. Maybe he'd get on. Should I hit Georgia, Brian, Jeremy, Patrick? Patrick.
Good old Patrick. He's an old friend of Luke's from the Nobo days. Nobo Gym, not the podcast. Because it's CrossFit.
We'll see. I just hit him up.
We don't have to talk about CrossFit. You want to talk about Call of Duty? What's going on in the tournament world for Call of Duty, Gazzo? I was playing some video games last night with the boys. We were playing Destiny 2.
Yeah, it looked like shit. I like walked in. I saw them playing.
You only like one game.
Are you getting the electric fucking car yet? Kendall wants one after last night.
Why'd you let her drive?
No, she refuses to drive. I don't even think she's watching this. We want Chet. Let's hit Chetty boy up. But who else can I hit up? Fran, you're gross. Leave us alone. I'm not abusive to the dog. I can just send this out to like a mass group chat.
Yeah, we get Chet in here. Guys, have you met Chet? He's very interesting cat. I'll say that much.
Who else I got contact wise? I can get my AE in here. Justin, dude, join up.
Don't forget to subscribe. We need more viewers so that we can get more people on.
I think Gabe,
is he available?
I don't know. I can text him. He's just in my contacts. Appreciate your support. Guys, get the fuck in here.
Yeah.
Don't be a little bitch anymore. We're done with it. We're done. You don't even have to put your camera on. Put your voice changing shit on. We'll interview you about something. Fucking Dunder Mifflin, your job over there.
Yeah, let's talk about your arousal state, guys. When do you peak during the day? You out there?
Yeah, we can't talk to chat.
Because it's slow.
Yeah. If you guys don't want to watch anymore, you can discontinue. Should we just end it, dude? Like, it's great having you guys today.
Did you send the link to Vince?
I've sent it to everybody.
Okay.
My whole fucking contacts list. We had let's run this down. We had somebody in interview today. This was more about an interview type day, not podcast. So we don't know if we'll put this one on Spotify. And he bailed. He just never answered us.
I think he's at work. He's a cop.
Yeah, fuck him.
And they work long shifts.
Yeah, he's never getting invited again.
He's cut.
He's cut. When I play COD. Guys, it was great having you on today, man. Thanks for showing up, guys. Next week, we will have chairs.
Promotions, don't forget.
We'll have chairs. Promotions.
That was what you said the theme was.
Promotions. I guess next week. I'll be starting the new job next week.
Next week, we'll be talking about promotions. If
Yeah.
you should take one, if you shouldn't,
Yeah.
how to make decisions. On
We will have the new
promotion.
chairs right there. Okay. It's not going to be a ghetto studio anymore.
Yeah, we're going to upgrade it.
You know? No, I won't. We won't be here next week. We're going to have to do a special edition. I'll be at the marathon.
Yeah, so it'll just be me. I'll actually be taking live on the
You'll be at the marathon.
I'll be live on the marathon.
Yeah. I'll go live from my phone. It'd be great.
I'll call you in at mile 13.
Yeah, at mile 13. We'll just fucking rip it. How are the hips? We'll check in. Because by that point in the morning, I should be around mile 13.
No, hold on. Well, since you got the marathon, chat's not going to see you. Like, tell us about
Why
it.
won't we have the chairs, first of all, Trill? Like, don't ever come at our neck like that again. Like, you're just that you won't let us get them. Told you guys to have content lined up with no interviews.
We got content.
We have content, but we had people. They were in. Jimmy left us early. You weren't here for the beginning.
I'm going to get nice and deep here with Luke. So, are you ready for the marathon?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
You're prepped.
I think prepped in the sense of I'm not trying to win the marathon.
Yeah, you're trying to finish.
I'm the generalist. I'm a generalist in sports.
What's the goal?
To be just good, just to do it. I don't care if I
Right.
run the whole
Let's dig
time.
into that. Like, what does do it look like?
Okay, so we'll go the extremes. We got one end over here. Jack, can you see this? Okay. One end over here. This is the top end. This is the fucking peak where people are going to do the best and win. Okay. So those are the marathon runners that are going to the Boston Marathon and winning fucking awards.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what their times are,
Right.
2.5 hours. Like, they're doubling what my half marathon time is, right? They're finishing in that grand scheme. Then we got this side, the guy not finishing in the 6-hour window. My goal is to be right in the fucking middle. That's Kendall's goal as well. She doesn't see the picture I see. When you do generalized sports, or you're a generalist, you're just mediocre at fucking everything,
Yeah.
you will fall in the middle. Like, in my opinion, unless injury occurs or sickness, it is impossible for you to not finish.
Yeah.
Like, we are generalists. We work out hard. You don't need, in my opinion, to run a marathon in your life to do one. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Somebody can argue with me. I'm sure Kendall has argued with me. Gaz, I'm sure you'll argue with me. Anybody out there?
But that being aside, what are some personal expectations you have for the marathon? You got to have some kind of thing. Like, is it to run the whole thing? Like walking would be a loss for you.
No, because when a friend of mine, so I'm getting better at this, has run a marathon and they basically drug they're like defining running. You have to withhold a certain cadence. So technically, said friend walked just because he was like jogging or felt like he was jogging. In the definition of defining a run, Hinshaw would say that is walking.
Okay.
Like, right, you were speed walking.
Yeah.
So I can speed walk. I'm okay with that. But I just walk. Like, I would do better if I just go ahead and spend some time walking.
That's all right in your rules.
In my rules, like, no, I would like to keep the cadence the whole time and continue to run.
Okay.
But I know I just did those 10 miles and my hip flexors were on fire.
Yeah.
Like, I will probably at some point have to fucking lube up and fucking massage the shit out of my hips.
All right. So that's not an issue. How about stopping?
And like complete stop, no, that's bad for you.
So that would be a rule that you're gonna have.
Yeah,
for
like no
stop
physically stopping and like sitting down.
Yeah,
like bad news for you there,
right.
In my opinion. But to define certain things running, you need to withhold a certain cadence. So I would say, like, do you agree with that or disagree?
Like, I mean, I don't want to make this about like a scientific marathon.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I'm just saying.
You,
yeah.
Like, what would you be like?
Well,
what
scientific.
Would you talk about to people and tell, like, hey, I did this marathon and here's what I did? Or would you be like,
yeah, I would tell them, like,
really
I've done some running over like the last 2 months. Me and Kendall have run. I don't know what she'll say. I disagree with me. We have run at least 30 plus miles.
Yeah.
We did the 10 miles one day and we've done several days of 5s and 6 miles. And we've done plenty of workouts at the gym in that time and warm-up runs and whatever. Like, it adds up over time. All said and done, at one spurt at mile 10, I'll be okay. After that, I'm going to be probably in pretty much fucking pain. I can finish it unless something like I fucking strain my hip flexor or something. And honestly, in the end of the day, if like I were to strain myself, it's not worth pushing yourself. I'd be like, Matt, pick me up. Like, it's not worth me hurting myself because my goal again is just being a generalist.
Yeah. Like,
I strongly believe that. Like, I do CrossFit. I feel I'm okay to do anything in the sense of like what's realistic.
Well, that's the funny thing about a marathon is because it's so long, the more you're in it, the more buy-in you're starting to create.
Yeah.
So like, let's say you get to mile 20 and like, you're like, holy shit, I'm in a lot of pain. The thought that's going to cross your mind is though, like, I just ran fucking 20 miles.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want this to be for nothing. Whereas like, let's say you ran 6 miles and you were in pain. I feel like it's better to quit there. Like, I'm only 6 miles in. Like, I could do this another time on better days.
Well, this all said and done, this isn't the only marathon you can do.
Exactly.
Like, in the end of the day, it's like, physically running, again, I could do it. It's not a lung capacity thing, aerobic capacity.
Joints.
It's literally like the pure force on your joints, which is like one reason I hate running, because I don't think it's good. Running is cool because like Hinshaw posted this the other day. It's like, what is running for? Running is to increase one person's work capacity. Because you're literally, if you're going to define what functional movements are.
I mean, that's like the basis of human life.
Yeah, it's like if you can't run, you're in fucking
not
bad shape. Yeah. Like, what if something happened, you had to run? What if there was a fire? What if you had to get out of the way of a building falling? What if you had to get out of the way of a car? What if you had to get away from an animal? Like, think about, like, let's break it down. Like, go thousands or hundreds of years ago. You're in the fucking forest and a dinosaur's chasing you. Yeah. Or like a wolf is chasing you or some shit. Like, okay. You can't get away. Yeah. So I was just reading something. So in Texas, they're shutting down this giant reserve. I don't know, like years ago, these cows broke away from this cattle ranch. And now they're like wild and domestic and they're fucking like beefy looking, like these strong looking fucking ox, like horse or cows. And it looks crazy. Like they look healthy. And it's like, wow, that's what our cattle should probably look like. Yeah. And they shut down this like huge area and they're sending out several helicopters with shooters on them and they're going to kill them all because they're not safe for humanity. Because like at some point somebody got, I guess, attacked by one. It's like, well, two things. Why are you fucking with them? And D, you can't fucking outrun the cow. Yeah. Like I'm not saying it's not possible. Like the cow is probably fast enough, but if I'm healthy enough, I can continue to run. So it's like, shame on you. Fucking let the cow kill you.
Yeah.
Like that's
Plus,
my
they're
thought.
not even predatory animals.
Mm-hmm. They fucking
So, like, to
graze
your
and eat
point,
grass all day.
Yeah, someone
It's
had
like,
to fuck with them.
yeah, exactly. Somebody physically went up and was probably like, "Oh, look at this thing. I'm gonna fucking try and feed it." And it's like, no, it's a fucking wild animal.
Yeah.
It's the same deal. And like when a bear eats somebody in Yosemite, you're like, we have to kill it. It's like, no, fucking dipshit, wait and touch it. Or like when a couple of months ago in the news, there was a lady from Pennsylvania in Wyoming that got kicked or attacked by a bison in Wyoming in Yellowstone. It's like, good.
How are you even that close?
Yeah, why are you that close? Like, why? Like, first of all, it's a law. Secondly, that you deserve it. Like, you fucked with a wild animal that weighs a ton.
We've been there though. Remember the elk?
I've never been there. No.
Yeah.
Oh, in that situation, yeah. Different story.
But again, I wouldn't like sue the park. I don't think we would have told anybody.
Or if we got attacked, I would have been like, we were fucking idiots. I wouldn't have been like, kill it.
Yeah.
Like, we fucked with a pack of elk. We were like professional photographers back in the day. And me and Matt saw these elk. We're driving on our way to Portland on the coast.
By the way, this was the photography I enjoyed.
Yeah. And we were like, dude, look at all these animals. Anytime we saw animals, we were down to go take shoots. We didn't have fucking zoom lenses, gas, or anything fancy. So we stop, we park, and we walk down this long trail and we see this field of elk. We were chasing them. We knew we were going to go there. We start walking. They're looking at us, not happy.
Creeping through the brush.
Yeah. And then we go on the other side of them in the hill. And all of a sudden, there was moments where they started to come towards us, right?
Yeah. So Gito, just for my non-photographers, like we didn't have zoom lenses. So like, to get the big shot of like the animal's face, Luke and I had to be like 10 feet from them.
Up and close. Well, close enough to then like zoom in on like on Lightroom and like crop it and for it to still look good.
Yeah. So we were pretty damn close.
But like in the middle of it, there was like one tree for like you to climb up.
And we were like trying to figure out who the buck was, right?
Yeah.
We know nothing about elk. I don't even know if the buck's the one you got to watch out for, if it's the female.
We don't know much about animals, but we were down to fuck with them. Same thing like in Yosemite the one time we were fucking walking in the middle of the night, pitch black, no headlights for some reason. I'm pretty certain we felt something. We turned the headlights on and there was deer in front of us.
Yeah.
Could have been a motherfucking bear. I still would not have sued the park for dying.
Yeah.
Like I fully would have been an adult, but I'm pretty sure the lady like in Wyoming tried to press charges. And then she got charged for fucking, because it's a national park. If this was not a national park, different story. They would have been like, if this was outside of the park, the bison would have gotten killed for leaving its territory. Yeah. And then they would have been like, it's a threat to humans. And it's like, no, the fucking humans have been a threat to these animals forever. Yeah. And they're pieces of shit in my eyes. It's like, don't do that. Don't fuck with these animals.
I agree.
It's the same thing with like in around here. There's like, we've taken over all of property and or it's like, no, even better. Valley Forge Park, mad amounts of deer. There was a threat to humans in the sense of nobody's paying attention when they're driving. Deers are running out. And it's like a couple like cures could have been like, they could have put fencing up or they just could have stopped taking all the property and shrinking Valley Forge Park. So instead they put a bunch of bow and arrow hunters and had them kill hundreds of them. So now there's deer, but not like when you would drive through the park and it'd be like, wow. There was 500 deer right there. Yeah. They were like, I mean, again, they killed all the animals with bows and it was like safer for everybody in the end of the day and safer for the animals. And then it also fed a lot of people. Like
what if they released a wolf?
Be crazy. I think they actually talked about releasing coyotes at one point. I think they did that as like a second state because the coyotes are safer for people. Like they're not going to fuck with people and it will help control the land.
Yeah. A lot of people would make the case that like what happens when the predators kill all the prey, then they come after humans. But like I was reading this one guy who lived in Canada or Alaska, like literally just in the bushes, like with a sleeping bag. And he just studied wolves. And he's like made all these observations of like when like the food comes, I was just telling this to Trill, when the food like source goes down, like let's say like I don't know, there was a super bad winter, all the deer didn't give birth and didn't make a lot
so
of
they're
deer.
all dying. Yeah.
So the wolves like just instinctually, and I think humans do this too, whether we know it or not, is like for whatever reason they just don't breed as much, and then when they do breed, like their litters are small. So like the way the populations work with the food is like interesting
because they know like, hey, we're not. Yeah.
Well, I don't even think they know. It's not like they're just like not horny, and when they have
it's got to be like
females, just for whatever reason don't make as many puppies in their litter.
Yeah. So it's like it helps control them. I'm sure that's like an instinctual thing or like
it's crazy.
It's like no, but going to that point,
it's when humans fuck with
it's
shit.
Why we eat. Like when that also happens, it's like cool. Storm happens, animals die, and there's very little left. We can't kill them and eat them anymore because then populations of deer and whatever cows, whatever else we eat die. Yeah. right? So we need to stop eating them so then they can reproduce and continue to grow the population again to where it's manageable for us. So that's when a human, that's why we eat vegetables, because that is like survival state. So imagine ice age happens, all animals die, but there's some left, we can't eat them. Now we have to rebreed them. It's going to take 20 years for us to get to a sustainable, healthy level. So we're not crossbreeding them or whatever else shit they do. So we go down and we go to survival mode. That's when you fucking start eating like the survival foods, which is like fucking wheat. And you start eating the vegetables and you start eating those things, which is why we have teeth like we have.
Yeah.
Because, right, you can eat and shred meat, and then you also have teeth that you are designed for you to have to eat vegetables. And it's like, that's the only reason or time we should be eating vegetables. Like simple terms, right?
Yeah.
And then once population goes back up, the survival foods aren't needed anymore. And we go back, which is why we can't digest vegetables the way that people want to be able to digest them. Like vegans out there, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what your gut feels like. Like, do you fucking fart a lot? Are you feeling sick? Do you get bloated? Are you burping all the time? Do you feel healthy? Do you feel energized?
Or vegans out there. Another question I have is just like, is it possible to be on a vegan diet and eat whole foods? Or do you have to have something?
I think you would die. I know. I get what you're saying. Would you die? Because, like, right, as a human, you need to have some sort of protein intake, especially people who work out.
Yeah.
And if you did not have science, would you be alive?
Yeah.
Probably not.
That's my interesting question.
Like some of our friends who do it, like the way they look, it'd be like, cool. You definitely would not be able to look that way 100 years ago, eating a vegan diet, like a plant-based diet where you're just eating that. Because like the essential amino acids that are in milk and protein do not exist in anything else.
Yeah.
Like for real, right? There might be, I think there's one thing, and if anybody out there knows, I'm pretty sure it's like pea protein or something weird, where it claims it has all 9 essential amino acids, where it's like builds your connective tissues, your muscle fibers, your everything. I don't know all the science behind it, but you need them.
To me, yeah. Milk, I don't know about. I don't know how long we were drinking milk for.
Apparently forever.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently forever. I mean, but like even remove milk, it's like fine. Okay, you still need to eat protein. But that's a whole nother time. Maybe we'll talk about an ancestral diet next week.
Yeah. All right, chat.
All right. Well,
good having you.
Well, see ya.